Okay guys, so this is going to be our lecture 10, and in this lecture 10 we are going to discuss everything in detail about all types of graphs. So first of all, I will take class for graph about ST. So we'll see distance time graph and displacement time graph first in this lecture, and after that we'll see velocity time graph and speed time graph, and after that we will see acceleration time graph. So see guys, there are some graphs they have filtered in few state board syllabus. There are some graphs they have not given importance in some state board syllabus. Some graphs are not there in cbse, but see, my point is, it is not about graph or it is not about syllabus. It is about your understanding of any curve with any concept, right? So that's why if you understand everything in detail, then only you can crack IIT JEE at advanced level. Okay, again I am saying, I am really not behind anything else other than your concept, because the title name is best physics ever. So I mean it. Whatever I'm going to discuss here, you are going to understand in detail everything, every single bit. After completing our kinematics, I promise you, any single topic will not be remaining from this kinematics chapter. Okay, and if you have any special demand, so like I can make any personal video on your demand, then I will definitely make an upload on YouTube. And one more thing, why I took 1 week to upload lecture 10, because I did some delay in lecture 9 also, and lecture 10 is also somewhat late, because from now onwards I am regular. Actually guys, what happened, I am planning to open my offline center for coaching in Delhi. So I was busy about that. So now almost all the discussions are done. Now I am planning to start offline center in Delhi for ConceptLibrary. So in that center I'll be having classes for IIT JEE, NEET and GATE Aerospace department. Okay, so I was continuously talking about that, and a lot of work was there. So we'll be having centers in Chennai also and in Delhi also, right? So now let's start with our fresh concept. And one more announcement: next year, in for 2023 batch, we'll be having direct classes also. Like on YouTube also, all the videos will be coming in detail as I promised. Complete physics, complete mathematics, and complete chemistry. Entire physics I will teach in English, mathematics and chemistry I will teach in Hindi. So already all the content will be available on YouTube for 11th class, 12th class, IIT JEE and NEET in detail. If you are watching my video from lecture 1, then you understand my promise, what I have made my promise with you. I will complete that in detail. So YouTube videos are sufficient. If you are watching this video in detail with full dedication, then believe me, you don't have to go anywhere else. We will complete everything here. But actually why I'm planning to take one more dedicated session online, because there you have to pay the fees, and believe me, fees what you are going to pay, that will be far less than any offline coaching center fees or any fees whoever is taking. Okay, that least fees, why I'm charging least fees, because, and why I'm planning to start online session for 2023 coming batches for IIT JEE and NEET, because in our case, I like in this video, many of the students are asking doubts on WhatsApp. Okay, so guys, see, right now all the videos I'm uploading on YouTube, but many of the students, they are texting me on WhatsApp because they my WhatsApp number. And here also I want to mention my WhatsApp number, +91 6380 135260. This is my WhatsApp number. You can contact me. But students are asking doubts on WhatsApp. Okay, and those doubts are really good, and I want to explain those doubts. But problem is, I don't have classes. And why I don't have classes? Because I don't have time. Why I don't have time? Because already I'm running batches for IIT JEE, NEET and GATE classes and pilots. So because of all these classes, I am not able to give you a separate offline, class. But very soon I am going to start a separate session for 2023 target batch. This will be 1 year program. 11th class student also can join this, 12th class student also can join this, and pass out student also can join this. Okay, so for that, again I said, fees will be very less for all the 3 subjects of physics, chemistry and math. so that anyone from all over India can attend. And if you talk about language, so of course I am going to deal everything is in Hindi. Why I am going to deal everything is in Hindi? Because it is kind of bilingual. Bilingual means if I have to write force, I will write force, I can say bal. If I have to write momentum, I will write momentum, I can say samveg. If I have to write acceleration, means you will not feel uncomfortable with English. So all the explanations will be in Hindi and everything will be in Hindi. You can ask your doubts on live class in Hindi. I will be explaining. It is like a classroom, complete classroom. Okay, everyone will be having freedom. They can ask your doubts. And then, so if you are interested, then you can contact me about fee structure and the timing, right? And very soon we are starting the batch for complete online program. Complete online program means, see what is difference between a YouTube channel or what is difference between a classroom. Main thing is on YouTube already all the contents are available on different channels and also on my channel. Already I am teaching everything, right? But still classroom is somewhat different. In classroom you can ask your doubts whenever you have immediately. Like I am taking classes on Zoom app. So on Zoom app you will come on a particular time. There will be a time. On that time you will come and you will take your admission. Very minimum fees so that easily you can afford the class. You should not have second thought that okay, fees is very high. So that's why in the beginning itself I'm mentioning the fees, very less fees. And for IIT JEE and NEET you can join the class, and advantage of classroom program that you can attend the class, you can ask your doubts. Okay, and if you are not able to attend the doubts, attend the class, and you are having second thought that sir you are teaching on YouTube also, and then you are taking separate classes also. Yes, my only motto behind taking separate classes doubt session, because students are asking doubts and their doubts if I have to explain, I need a separate classroom. Okay, because on YouTube it is not that possible. Of course I am trying, but actually what is happening, students are not commenting in the YouTube videos that sir I have doubt here, I have doubt here. They are directly taking my number and they are directly texting me on WhatsApp. That's why I came to know, like I was searching the solution, what can be the right solution. Then I came with the idea that okay, I will charge a very less fees. In that fees I will give them a separate session from zero. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. I'm going to start ST graph. ST graph means distance and displacement graph. If you are watching my video regularly, you can also follow me on Instagram. So in this ST graph, sometimes it can be distance time graph and sometimes it can be displacement time graph. Actually, distance time graph and displacement time graph, for example, I'm going to explain these standard lines. Suppose this is S and this is T. Right now I will explain that this S is distance. Okay, so if distance is scalar quantity, then it can never be negative, correct? It means what? Understand that this line, whenever you have any graph, first thing you should decide motion is there or not. You should decide the first thing, the graph is representing motion or not. Okay, second thing, if graph is not representing motion, then you will say object is stationary. But if the graph is representing motion, then what will you mention? Then you have two choices. You have to judge motion is uniform or motion is non-uniform. So how will you judge that? So those things we will learn here. Then next thing you will judge, if motion is uniform, then acceleration is 0. If motion is non-uniform, then what are the things you have to judge? We will learn in this graph. So first understand the meaning of this straight line. Understand in detail. See here. And I will also suggest you to share this video because this is very important video. Share with your friends. See here. In this straight line, you can see here time axis. When time is increasing, time is increasing, time is increasing, time is increasing. But suppose this distance is 2 meter. So this distance is not increasing, not increasing, not increasing, not increasing. I mean, distance should increase on this axis, right? But distance is not increasing. Only what is increasing? Only time is increasing. It means what? You are at a particular distance standing. You are standing here, and with respect to this point P, you are at point A, and your location is not changing. In watch, only time is changing. Only time is changing, but your position is not changing. What does it mean? You are not moving. Okay. See guys, mechanics is the toughest part in physics. Students are saying like this. Even when I was preparing for IIT JEE, when I was learning physics, that time I experienced the same. If you are really good in mechanics, you will be good in all the portions of physics. Okay, because mechanics is not only about learning mechanics, it gives you development of your thought process. Your thought process will build up. It's like if you have money, then money can buy anything. In same way, if you have thought process, or you can say if you have mind, then with this mind you can learn any subject. So mechanics opens your mind. So focus here again. So I hope you understood. Distance is not changing. So if distance is not changing, then what is the meaning of this straight line? What is the meaning of this straight line? In all these three cases, distance is not being changed. But of course, line 1 is saying that person is standing at this much distance, for example 1 meter, but person is not changing the position. The last line, suppose this is 3 meter distance. Again, person is standing at 3 meter distance, but person is not changing the position, because position is not being changed of this person. That's why with respect to this point, means with respect to origin, this distance is not increasing. So you will say motion is not there. Okay, then in what case motion can be there? So second graph, again I am taking ST, means distance time graph. So suppose I am drawing this line and see one more thing, pause the video and write down everything in detail, and trust me, I am going to complete entire physics. Actually, I'm really sorry, because in last 4-5 days I could not upload the video, and even I could not upload the theory, that like anything, that I'm not able to upload the video. Main thing was I was busy in planning about offline center in Delhi. Okay, next part. So come to this graph. In this graph, when time goes in this direction, you can see at this time your location on graph is this. It means you have this distance. Suppose this distance is 1 meter. Then again, when time changes here, suppose this is 1 second, this is 2 second. So when you are reaching here, then you have this distance, correct? So this is the location on the graph, this is the location on the graph, but reality you will judge on this axis, on this axis. Sometimes students, new students, beginners, nibbas, nibbis, they will think this line itself is the path of travel, this line itself is path of motion. No, no, no guys, this is not path of motion, this is connection, this is graph between time and distance. It shows you variation. This line is not the path. Okay, ये रास्ता नहीं है, ये graph है. Okay, now see, understand the point here. When time goes in this direction, suppose at 3 seconds you are here, so you will go to the graph and then you will judge what is your distance. You can clearly see time is increasing and distance is also increasing. Distance is increasing, right? Distance is increasing, right? Okay, now from this graph you got the answer. First answer, motion is there or not? So yes, motion is there. Now second answer, if motion is there, then your, of course, distance will change. So distance is changing. Now there are two ways to check. If distance is changing, then definitely motion is there. Yes, of course motion is there. Then what kind of motion you have? You have uniform motion or you have non-uniform motion. How will you judge you have uniform or non-uniform? So for that, understand. What is the physical feel of uniform motion? How will you know? I am making sound on using my mouth, sound like this. Suppose someone is traveling, someone is starting the car and going like this. Like they will start slowly, and they will start increasing, like this. It means what? Their speed is increasing. Okay, motion is there. Distance is also being traveled, but speed is increasing. Speed is not constant. Velocity is increasing. In that case, motion is non-uniform. So right now, in this graph, what are the ideas you have got? You have got motion is there, distance is also changing, but it is uniform motion or non-uniform motion. So for that, how will you judge? Okay, so from this graph, from this line, from this graph, this is distance time graph, you have to judge what is your velocity. So how will you know what is your velocity? Then in previous chapters, I have taught you when you will differentiate the distance time equation, you will be getting speed, correct? So currently I will target not velocity, I will target speed. Why? Because velocity means direction also, and right now we are learning motion in one dimension, so direction is already constant. Direction is already constant. So if direction is already constant, then your velocity will be speed and speed will be velocity. No problem at all, correct? So in case of ds by dt, we call this as a speed. So if I have equation of distance and time, then that equation I can differentiate and I can find out my speed. But in case of graph, this ds by dt is nothing but slope. Okay, so how will you find out slope? Okay, so now see, I will teach you how to find out slope. So what will you do? You will pick any 2 point on time axis. Suppose this is 2 second and this is 3 second, and any two locations like this, here and here. Suppose this is your S1, suppose this is 2 meter, suppose this is S2, suppose this is 3 meter. Just an example. Okay, so what will you do? You will find out your velocity. So your velocity, or you say you will find out your speed. Again, I'm saying don't be confused between speed and velocity right now, because motion is straight line, so they both will be same. Okay, focus here. Then this speed, how will you write? You will write as ds by dt. But problem is, this ds by dt is helpful if equation is given, but this time equation is not given. What is given? Graph is given. So what will you do? This term you will write as s2 minus s1, and this term you will write as t2 minus t1. Okay, so from the graph, if you are taking this as s1, then exactly this line you will take as t1. This one you take as s2, so exactly this one you will take as t2, right? So it means what? What is your s2 value? S2 value is 3. What is s1 value? S1 value is 2 divided by 3 minus 2, because t2 is also 3 and t1 is also 2. So you got as like subtract this 1, subtract this 1, so 1 by 1, 1. So 1. This unit was meter, this unit was second. So meter per second. You got one idea. What is that idea? Your speed is constant. Okay. How did you know speed is constant? Because you are getting only one number here. Only one number. Only single digit. You don't have time parameter. It means what? Whatever speed you have got here in this journey, this speed is simply coming a number. Any t is not coming in the answer. If t is not coming in the answer, it means what? Your answer does not depend on time. It means your speed is not affected with time, right? So speed is not being changed. Simple. So you got one idea that in this graph, if this is distance time graph, then what happens? There is no motion. So if no motion, then no story. But in this case, there is motion also, and that motion is uniform motion. And how will you calculate? Because if motion is there, then speed is there. If motion is there, then speed is there. Then how will you calculate that speed? Just now I taught you. You can pick any 2 points. Okay, actually in your college, in your school, in this graph, so many points will be given. So many points will be given. You can pick any two. You can pick this and this. If you're picking this one, then in front of this, whatever is there. If you're picking this one, then in front of this, whatever is there. Okay, but correctly you have to pick. You cannot pick this time, and for this time you cannot pick this is distance. No, you go to graph and then come horizontal. You go vertical, come horizontal. Like that only you have to pick your choices. Otherwise your answer will come wrong, right? I hope it's totally clear for the two graphs. Now very interesting graph. ST graph, distance time graph. See here. If I am drawing graph like this, so see here, distance time graph cannot be like this, can never be like this. Why? First understand the physical field, then I will explain this part. Suppose this is your home. Okay, from home you went to your school. Suppose this is your school. So suppose you travel 10 meter. Okay, then when you will come back, then again you will travel 10 meter. Then your total distance will become 20 meter. It means what? When you are coming back, your distance will never decrease. Only displacement will decrease. Understand one simple logic. When did you take in birth? What is your date of birth? Okay, you do one thing, make it interesting. In comment box, let me know what is your date of birth. And of course, from which location of India you are watching my video, mention that place name also. That from Madhya Pradesh, from Uttar Pradesh. And especially if you are from North India side, I'm from Uttar Pradesh. So in which location you are watching the video, you mention that location also, like from Varanasi, from Kashi in Uttar Pradesh, or from Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh, or from somewhere in Delhi or somewhere. Okay, so try to understand this logic. So when you are taking birth, that time from hospital, because mostly people take birth in hospital nowadays, and of course you have taken birth in hospital. Olden days, like those maids and doctors, they used to visit our home, like long back in olden days. They used to help the lady to delivery in home itself, right? So nowadays, from the birth day, date of birth, from that day itself, the child will come back to home. Then it means what? First day itself he is traveling. Maybe in some complications, child will not travel the same day, but mostly what happens, after the birth, child will travel the same day. So it means what? From your date of birth, you are traveling distance. And you listen, suppose you took birth in this hospital, and you went back home, and suppose you came back to same hospital for some medicine, then it does not mean that your distance became zero. No. Distance is a scalar quantity. It will always get add up in your life. Distance will always get add up in your life, like your age. Okay, like your age increasing. So whenever you will travel, you are traveling from your bedroom to bathroom to kitchen to bathroom to bedroom to garden to school to coaching center to friend's house to party house, like everywhere all the distances are being add up. Okay, distance can never decrease. But see, in this graph, if this is distance and time graph, so what this graph is showing? This graph is showing that time is increasing, but your distance is decreasing. So this graph does not exist for distance. So this graph is wrong for distance time graph. That is the beauty. That's why distance time graph I will teach you separately, and displacement time graph I will teach you separately. So today I am teaching distance time graph in this lecture. Okay, some more graphs are remaining, don't worry, stay with me. So suppose this is 1 second. At 1 second you have this much distance. At 2 seconds you have this much distance. So you can see time is increasing, but distance is decreasing. So distance can never decrease. I hope you understood this. And if you have understood this, if you like this video, then hit the like button so that my video can come into better performance. Other students can also watch and learn this. Then only India will become great India again. Okay. Now see, what if I will give you this graph? So this is your distance time. I'm repeating, distance time. Suppose I'm giving you this line. Okay. I will draw this line from here. From here I'm drawing the line. So here I'm saying suppose 3 seconds. So suppose in the beginning you had distance 1 meter, and now suppose you have distance 7 meter. Just an example. So this curve is possible or not? It is not at all possible. Why? Because you have traveled distance without consuming time. How is it possible? How is this possible that? So it is impossible. You are not growing on time axis. Can you stop time? Are you God? Are you God, or are you very great scientist that you can stop the time? Okay, learn physics, learn science. In future, if you have interest in space and science and astrophysics or something, you learn like how can you play with the time, okay, and be a great scientist, and then fix everything, fix all the problems on earth. Okay, whatever problems we are facing, money problem, war, okay, India Pakistan issues, all the issues, fix it and let everyone be very happy. Okay, now see, so my point is, at 3 seconds, is it possible that you can cover this distance in no time? It means what? When you are at 1 meter, that time also time was 3 seconds. When you are at 7 meter, that time also time is 3 seconds. How is this possible? It is not at all possible. In zero time, you are coming from here to here. Are you God? No. It means you are faster than your mind. If I will say you, immediately go to Mars with your mind. So immediately you can imagine Mars. So your mind is also consuming some time. Okay, some fraction of time, some millions, billions fraction of time, but you are consuming some time. In this graph, This graph is saying that person is moving from 1 meter to 7 meter in no time, in zero time. How is possible? So this graph is not possible, neither for distance time graph, nor for displacement time graph, nor for velocity time graph, nor for acceleration time graph. Always remember, nothing can happen when time is on like time vertical axis, like this kind of line. Anything in any chapter, in any subject, nothing can happen in zero time. Okay, and if something is happening in zero time, it means we are going to learn a new lesson in physics, right? Okay, so these three graphs clear. This graph, and this graph, and four graphs are clear. These four graphs clear. Now we have to understand some curve graphs. Okay, so this curve graph and this curve graph, this curve graph and this curve graph, like this. I mean four curves. I hope it's clear. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these four curve graphs I will explain in next video, because this video will become more lengthy. So let's move to lecture 11, and all the graphs I will clear, and then I will solve all the kinematics problems.